Hello, this is Joseph Henson demoing my WordPress snippets bundle for TextMate. It also works with text editor, which is a Windows equivalent. If you'd like to find out more about this bundle or about me, you can visit my website, josephhenson.com. That's Hinson. So here we go. Let's get started. Now I have page.php open here, but as you can see, it's completely blank. I'm going to start putting content in here. So I can use the WordPress function get header, and I can call it by get underscore header. Now I set these WordPress snippets up to be very similar to the actual syntax of the function, in order that I can remember them, so that I'm not like lost if I'm using a different text editor or I have to do it in plain text. So I could do that, or I also added one called page underscore template, which spits that out, which is kind of handy. So you might have the home page or something like that. That's super easy way to do a page template. But that's not really what I want to do right now. I just want to start building out the page. I'm going to do a outer content block called a page wrap, and for that I'm going to use a snippet I created for divs, which I just press div and say tab, and that gives me the choice between a class and an ID, and then this here is echoed at the comment at the bottom. Whoops, page wrap. Alright, now the inner div is going to be pulled in once the content is pulled in, so I'm going to use the loop. But I also want to show how I have query posts as well in this. And you need to add the parameters manually, but the tab stop drops you there, so you can say posts per page equals, let's see, whatever, 5, 1, doesn't matter. I'm only going to get 1 because this is page.php, but that's, you use post per page because show post is depreciated now. So now I'm going to call the loop. Now that's not nearly the syntax that you actually use. In fact, loop is never mentioned, but it's easier to type, so that's what I called it. Here you put your while statement, and then at the bottom you have static. Now, I should probably be consistent and open that up between right there, the if and the while, and then have static up there too if I'm going to have static down there. But anyway, maybe I'll fix that later. Okay, so here I'm going to have I'm going to go ahead and remove this because I don't need that to be there. But I do want to have a div here, so I'm going to insert another div with a class of entry, and I'm going to have a h2 in there. So h2, and then that's going to be the title. I press tab, and it spits out the title function. And then I want the content. Now the content automatically puts in paragraph tags and images and all that stuff, so I don't really need anything. It'll be inside of this entry block here. So there I have it, the title, the content, end entry, and while end if, and I'm gonna get the sidebar if for this this page this might not be the right structure for a sidebar, but that's how you would do that. And then you want to get footer, and there you go. So there you have your WordPress page template in only a matter of seconds. Another thing you might want to do is add a widgetized sidebar. So maybe you'll have the div with an ID of sidebar or something like that, and you want to have the widgetized sidebar. Now I used the default template. I stripped it out and made it a sandbox. So I created this snippet called wig underscore sidebar, and what that does is just creates that dynamic sidebar. And as you can see, my mouse is hovering here in case I have a name for it, which I don't. So, but the default actions I put here, like actually I would probably wrap this in a UL, because generally that's what you might want to do. But then I might put some LIs in here with content blocks. Blocks go here or something like that. Anyway, that's just a couple other things. You can look at the full list on my website, josephhenson.com. Thanks for your time.